Alright, our last video. And today's video is driven by nutritionally complete food. 50% fewer carbs, 33% more protein, plant-based nutrition at its best. Coffee caramel. Okay, let's get on with the lesson. Today we're looking at making fertilizers in industry. So we've talked about how ammonia is an important element that plants need because they can't make protein on their own. They need to have a fertilizer to supply them with the nitrogen. In fact, there's three elements that plants need to be supplied by fertilizers in intensive farming. And they're referred to NPK fertilizers because they contain those three elements: nitrogen, phosphorus, and of course the K stands for potassium, if you're a chemist. So we can get those three elements into plants by mixing together the appropriate compounds and making a fertilizer. Because it's a mixture of different substances made for a consumer product, it's a formulation. We saw that in topic 12, mixture of substances used to make a consumer product. Okay, so let's start from the top then. We have, let's do our raw materials in blue. So nitrogen and hydrogen are raw materials. And courtesy of the Haber process, they make ammonia, which is going to be an important thing. Ammonia can actually be then transformed into nitric acid through a process that I don't want to go into now. It's not part of the syllabus. And then the ammonia and the nitric acid can be combined to make ammonium nitrate, which is usable as a fertilizer. It's a soluble salt which can be added to your fertilizer, and it will mix together and with whatever it is. I don't know where I'm going with that sentence. If we wanted to make a phosphate mineral, we would need phosphoric acid. With phosphoric acid and ammonia, we would make ammonium phosphate. Okay, so ammonium phosphate is another NPK fertilizer. Of course, it contains both nitrogen and phosphorus, so that makes it a good compound to mix in. Unfortunately, there aren't any NPK compounds that contain all three elements, but we probably wouldn't want to use them all the time anyway. Fertilizers are formulations. We want to be able to supply exactly the right amount of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium in each fertilizer, but different plants are going to have different needs. So if you go into a garden centre, you'll see tomato fertilizer, and you'll have a combination of NP and K that's absolutely spit spot for tomatoes. And if you're growing potatoes, you'll get a different fertilizer with different substances in it. Okay, where does phosphoric acid come from? Well, it comes from phosphate rock. So literally mined out of the ground. If I'm going to make it into phosphoric acid, we need to add a bit of nitric acid along the way there. There's some other options available to us. If I react that with sulfuric acid instead, it will make calcium phosphate and and a bit of calcium sulfate in there as well. Just gets made as long as part of the process. That should have been an orange, shouldn't it? Sorry. There you go. Calcium phosphate. There you go. All right. There's another fertilizer there combination, and the other thing I can do is again, if I react phosphate with nitric acid, that's the wrong colour pen, is make calcium nitrate, because there's calcium in the phosphate rock. Yeah. Okay, so we have a range of different possibilities there. What about potassium? Well, potassium just gets mined as potassium chloride or as potassium sulfate. That comes directly out of the ground. So if we take our combination of ammonium phosphate, ammonium nitrate, calcium phosphate, calcium nitrate, and then mix it together with the mined calcium chloride or calcium sulfate, then we will have our NPK fertilizers. Simple as that. Incidentally, I've been looking at my ammonium sulfate solution. It hasn't crystallized yet, but maybe by the time I make another video, it will be. I was thinking of bringing one along, you know, here's one I made earlier, but I didn't want to cheat. Anyway, good luck in your GCSEs. Cheers. Damn, that's tasty.